I can't meditate because when I do it, my mind is too busy. If that's your case, watch this. You might be familiar with this type of thought, or maybe you heard somebody else voicing it. It's quite common. So you're not alone. But bear with me. First of all, when your mind is busy and when you are meditating, you are not failing. There might be this idea or this expectation when you meditate that meditation is about having a blank mind, or feeling calm, or being at peace, and that if something else happens, then you are failing at the practice, which is not true. The mind just generates thoughts in the same way that your body breathes. So whenever you sit down and you see that your mind is just busy creating thoughts, good, it means you are alive. And a lot of people stop the practice because of that, because of this expectation. So first of all, just check with yourself, how are you starting your practice? You have an expectation to reach a certain mental state or to have an empty mind. And if you do, just be aware of that and try to let go of it, because they're not helpful and they are not supporting your practice. And more than anything, if these expectations are creating frustration and then they are keeping you away of the practice, is even worse. So be aware of that. It's a trap. Another thing that might stop people from meditating or continuing the practice is how busy they realize their mind is, especially in the beginning. However, you need to take in consideration that maybe if you don't take much time to just be, it doesn't have to be just meditation, but any other moments when you're just yourself, maybe drawing or dancing, something that you are really engaged in the present moment, with less demands and input from the external world. And then we all have busy lives nowadays. So it's only natural that when we finally stop to just check what's going on inside, there might be a lot going on. And that's natural. But that doesn't mean that when we start the practice, that whatever is happening in those first 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes is gonna keep on going for the rest of the practice. So just give yourself some time. Be patient with yourself and with the practice when you're doing it. So if there's a lot of things going on in your mind, in your head, you can just observe them. And then whenever you notice that your mind has wandered to something, you can come back to the present moment, because then you realize that your mind has wandered and then you are present. And that's what the practice consists of. And it doesn't matter if you have to bring yourself back again and again and again, or if your mind is going to the same thing again and again and again, because that can also happen. What matters is when you notice what your mind is doing and you become aware and say, aha, I see what you're doing. And then you come back to the present moment. And it's important to give yourself this time for your mind to settle. It's like a warm-up, right? When you're gonna do exercise, when you're gonna do yoga, heavy lifting, running, dancing, swimming, whatever it is you are into, there is always a warm-up phase where you are allowing yourself to get into that state. You're never gonna get straight into running your fullest, for example, cycling your fullest in the first minute. You're gonna build it up, right? For some reason, when we engage in a mindful practice like meditation, the mind just wants it to be done like this. And usually it doesn't happen like that. So why would we separate the mind from the body? It doesn't make much sense and is not helpful for us. So see the beginning of the practice as the warm-up. You are just getting there. You are getting into the zone. And be patient and help yourself to go through this initial state. The same thing when you go into a physical activity. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it and you consider skipping the activity, the class, or the workout that day. And then once you go and you push yourself, maybe put some music, something to support you, or you have some friends supporting you, or a coach or personal trainer. And then after your body warms up, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then suddenly you actually enjoy it and you feel the energy. Something changes. The same thing might happen when you are practicing your meditation or your mindful practice, your presence practice, however you want to call it. So just give yourself some time to do that. Remember that you are just warming up. So next time when you go to the practice, check your expectations, check how you're getting into the practice. If you are just open to be with whatever is there, or if you're already trying to achieve a state, and treat it as a warm up, especially in the beginning. Give yourself time and your mind time to settle, and treat the practice in the same way that you would start a physical practice. You would give yourself time, you would give your body time, and in this case, your mind time and space to settle, to get into that activity. And then just remember yourself that thinking is not failing. Thinking is just a natural part of the process. It's all about noticing that you're thinking, noticing what the mind is doing, and creating distance between you, the observer, and whatever thought or narrative is going on that you are noticing. And then you're coming back to the present. It can be through the breath or a body sensation that you choose as your anchor point. And you start over, and you start over as many times as you need to, and that is the practice. And eventually the mind settles, eventually you might find these blissful or peaceful states. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't. The practice is not about that. And third, just remember to be patient, especially in the beginning. You are warming up the same way that in the physical activity, you would give yourself time to get into the activity. Just help your mind and yourself to get into the meditation, into the practice, and then see what happens. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video and for your willingness to develop yourself. And if you want to go deeper and start or expand your mindfulness practice, developing emotional intelligence and resilience, becoming able to accept, embrace, integrate, and work with all the parts of you, including the pessimistic, the anxious, the stressing, the worrying, the controlling, the judgmental parts, nourishing yourself with self-love and compassion so you can also offer it to others. Bring the qualities of mindfulness to your daily life and to know yourself better, becoming aware of your conditionings, your narratives, your patterns and beliefs, letting go of the ones that are not serving you and that are holding you back, and replacing them with the ones that are aligned with your essence and with your values. Then check the description below and get in touch so we can find ways to work together. It will be my pleasure to support you on your journey. And please subscribe and hit the bell button so you know whenever there's a new video. Thank you.